Hello everyone and welcome to another surprise tutorial. I am your yarn host Jennifer. This is Cinnamon Stitches because I didn't say that to begin with. So yesterday on Yow, I made this really cute tutorial for a cowl using, let me grab it, Sweet Roll Vivid in the color Glowworm. This one's partially used. This one's partially used now. So yesterday while I was tutorializing y'all with this really pretty, colorful, bright, vibrant cowl, I wanted to, and of course I didn't weave in the end yet. Shh, you didn't notice that. I wanted to make you guys a matching hat. I want to make myself a matching hat, let's be real. Isn't it so cute? So it's the same stitch pattern as the cowl mostly, but it's a hat and it's adorable and it's so bright and it's so vibrant, and we're calling it Vivid Dreams hat. So we got the Vivid Dreams cowl and the Vivid Dreams hat because it's made with Premier Sweet Roll Vivid, because it's so cute. All right, so stay tuned because I'm going to show you guys this. Now the brim I made out of the Premier Everyday Anti-Pilling Acrylic in the color Flame Orange because I thought that went well, and it totally is cute and I love it. You can use any color that matches with your colorway of yarn. I really like the Premier Everyday matched up with the Sweet Roll. I just think it is a match made in heaven. The basics works up really good with this as well. So yeah, if you want some of this yarn, I will always have it linked below, as I always have and always will. This is how much I used of the cake for the hat. So I'm gonna say about 2/3 of the cake, and then I used some of this, but this was already an open thing, so I didn't use that much of the skein. The reason I did the solid, and you will hear this again because I already recorded the tutorial for this, the reason I did a solid color for the brim is because I don't like a broken colored rib for this, so I just did a solid for the brim, and then I did the hat with the cake. It's a very easy tutorial. It took me to record the entire tutorial and make the hat while I was designing it. It took me about 3 hours total, so that's not too bad at all. And yeah, it matches the cowl. So now you guys have a matching set if you choose to make a matching set. And I say this in the video again, so you'll hear it again. If you make either of these or both of these, I would love to see pictures. You can email me, you can tag me on Instagram, you can, what else can you put it in the Facebook group. So I just wanted some bright, lively colors because I have a hard time in the winter. The winter months are hard on me. It's just dreary and I just get really like moody, and pops of color make me so happy. So, and Scarlett is whining because she's locked in here. So if you hear that noise, that is, come here, that's Miss Scarlett. Up. I don't know if you can see her. Oh, she's right there. Come on. There she is. Come on, the people want to see you. Up. There you go. Thank you. So, yuck, dog germs. And look, see? She put her scratchy paw in there and didn't even snag it. So stay tuned. Here's the tutorial for this. The links below for the cowl and the yarn. I'm gonna link the Premier Everyday and the neon cakes. I'm gonna link those below. You can use any cake you want, whatever colored yarn you want. Doesn't matter to me, but if you want to make it wild and loud like mine, you can. Another color I'm really thinking about making a second set in is this one. The Tetra colorway, just because I have the basics to match it. And I think that would be such a pretty set, and little man really likes bright colors like his mommy does. But I have all the colors in the Sweet Roll Vivid, as you guys have seen, because I adore them so much. They make me so happy. So stay tuned for the tutorial, and thanks for watching. I'm going going to try this again because I didn't hit record last time and I had to frog it all because I wasn't recording. So, to get started, I actually started the first tutorial with a 6mm hook because that's what I used for the cowl, but I'm actually going to do the brim in a 5mm hook and hopefully remember to switch to 6mm when I get past the brim because I want the brim to be a little bit, the stitches to be a little tighter. So I have my Sweet Roll Vivid in the color Glowworm because that is the same color that I used for the cowl pattern, but I also have grabbed, if I can get this all out of the way because I tangle it with itself. I grabbed some orange, some flame orange in the Premier Everyday Anti-Pilling Acrylic because I'm going to mix these two together. And even though it is not the same exact orange, it's a little bit different, it's still going to coordinate very well. And I want my brim to be all one color. So what we're going to do is I am going to start with a slip knot. And for those of you who have trouble with a slip knot, you make like an awareness ribbon with a short tail on the bottom and you pinch it at the X. You go from top to bottom, grab the long tail, pull it up. You have a slip knot. Now, we are going to work the brim of the hat in a strip. So we're going to work it back and forth. So I'm going to start with a chain of 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Actually, let's do chain 8 so that we can do single crochets. We'll have 7 single crochets because 7's a good number. I like doing odd numbers for some reason. So we should have 7 single crochets across for the first row. This brim is a really easy brim. It is just the repeat row, 1 row repeat. Chain 1, turn. You're going to single crochet in the back loop only in every row. So single crochet in the back loop only, single crochet in the back loop only. And if you turn your work, so this is the flat part, if you turn it up sideways, see how there's like a V here? Just go in here and go into the back loop and make a single crochet. We're going to do this every row. And we're going to do this until it measures around the head that you're making it for. For me personally, I have a 24-inch head, but I have a very large head. So I need to make this at least 23 inches because there is going to be a little give and stretch over time. And I usually make it a little bit smaller than what my head is. So if you have like the average head is like 20, 21 inches. So go aim for that for if you have an average head. Of course, measure your head. Measure your head around your forehead, around over the top of your ears, because we all have different shaped ears and they all stick out a different amount from our head, and around the back under part of your head. So basically where the brim of your hat would go. Measure that and go for about a 1/2 inch smaller than that, just for stretch. Unless you crochet really, really tight, then don't do that. But you know your crochet better than I do. And you can always measure it over your head and then add or subtract rows from there. But you want it to be snug fitting, not tight. Snug fitting around your head and your ears. And this hook is squeaking because it's the first time I've used it. It's like I don't know what's happening to me. So we're just going to do this. Single crochet in the back loop only until this strip that we are creating reaches the measurement of your head or the person you're making it for. Like my niece who is 4, her head is about the size of an average human, adult human. So a 4-year-old, she's got her head is like 20 inches. For a normal toddler, I would say probably maybe 18 inches. Possibly 16. You're gonna have to measure their head, of course, or guesstimate, but I suggest having somebody measure it. And little man has a very large head. Little man has 8, but his head is about the same size as mine. Around, however, his head is not as deep as mine, so I usually make the brim a little thicker. You can make this brim as thick or as thin as you want. When I first started off, it was 3 inches. And since I had to frog it to show you guys, it is now an actual changed hooks. It is about 2 inches. So you can make this brim an inch if you want. You make 2 inches, you make 3 inches. I usually make them a little bit bigger so that I can fold them up because little man usually shares hats with me. Because he has a bright personality like me. He loves bright colors. So, alright. Just continue this. Do single crochet every row in the back loop till you reach your length. Count your stitches every couple of rows to make sure you still have 10 so that you're not losing stitches or gaining stitches anywhere. And I will meet you at the end of this when I have about a 23-inch brim. Alright, so I crocheted 58 rows total to fit my head. Now it is not 24 inches just laid flat like this. It's actually much smaller, but because there's so much give in it, I will show you. So I am at about 19 inches unstretched, but I pulled it around my head because there's so much give. There's so much give in this stretch, in this stitch. A slight pull gets me to 24 very easily. I get that to lay flat. It's at 24 very easily. So I stretched it out, and like I said, this will stretch out over time. So now, and I did wrap it around my head, it fits very comfortably. We are going to fold it in half so that you have the two ends that meet. And actually fold it together this way. Maybe? No. Yes. No? No. That way. Confusing myself. Just put the two ends together, and we are just going to slip stitch this together to join. So we're going to go through the stitches and just slip stitch it to join. And because this is a ribbed hat, the slip stitches should just make it look like there's another rib there. If I can get it through. So yeah, we should have 7 slip stitches across because we had 7 stitches to start with. And then for me, I am going to cut this orange off, and I'm going to join the sweet roll. Now, I am done with the orange for now. Right, so this is our brim. This is the part that we slip stitch, and it just looks like an extra thick brim, and it kind of blends in with the brim. See? So, now I'm going to join the Sweet Roll Vivid, which started in orange, so it kind of works out for me. And if I can find my end, we are going to start. Oh, I need to change to a bigger hook. I'm glad I put that hook there. So now I'm changing to a 6mm hook, just so that I can work in the bobbles a lot easier. And I am going to start at the stitch before the join of the 2 rows, and I am going to slip stitch, and I am going to chain 2, and each one of these ridges is 2 rows, so it counts as 2 rows. If you want to count your rows, just count 2, 4, 6, 8, and so forth. That's how you can count your rows very easily. In between this stitch and this stitch, we need 2 half double crochets. So however you want to put them there, I like to go where the valley part is of the stitch and put a half double, and then put a half double on top of the ridge. So that way you have 2 in each section. So just go through, and if you have 58 rows like I did, you should have 58 single crochets across the top of this. So that's all we're doing. However many rows you have, that's how many half double crochets you should have across. Just put them in wherever. Just make sure you have 2 per each one of these ridges. You should have 2 single crochets in between the ridges somewhere. Picked up a piece of hay or grass or something. Must have been something that was floating in the box of this yarn. Now see how this orange is not quite the same color, but it doesn't clash. It looks good together. And it makes total sense. But of course you can do any color you want for your brim. You do black. Black would be excellent. Some of the colors in here are actually neon, so Premier has this exact color, this exact color, this similar color, and then the green color. You can do any of those colors. But I use the orange because I've already been using the orange for, the orange was out for my Halloween blanket because I'd used part of the skein. So I was like, why not use my scraps? Even though it's almost a full skein, it's not even a scrap at this point. And of course, because we're using a bigger stitch, this first row will be a little bit wider than the brim, which is fine. Just half double crochet in, around and around. Ooh, the color's getting a little deeper. Could be getting close to a color change. See how? Well, maybe not. Maybe not. I meant to crochet over the top of my tail so I didn't have to weave them in, and I forgot. That's alright. It'll be fine. Yep. See, I knew a color change was coming. So what I'm going to do, I'll just weave them in later. We'll be fine. I'm going to try to crochet over the top of them backwards, but I'm not even going to bother. Now we've gotten to the yellow. And if you've already made the cowl that matches this hat, you will understand exactly. This part is going to be so easy. You probably can already figure out what we're going to do next. Got our half double row. We're going to slip stitch to that first chain 2. We're going to chain 1, and then the next row we're just going to do singles across. So put a single crochet in that same stitch, and in every half double across, put a single crochet. This can give you a really cool effect because of the color. The color change is going to be different in the hat than the cowl, but just slightly. Because with the cowl we were working shorter rows because we were working back and forth, but this row will actually be longer because we're working it in the round. And single crochets. Oh, crescendo. Mr. Cinnamon's watching a movie in the other room. Or a TV show, actually, I should say. He's watching Power of the Rings, which is a series based off of Lord of the Rings. It's actually a really good series if you like Lord of the Rings. He's watching it. We were watching it together, but he knew that I was doing a tutorial, so I told him, I said, I'm going to be up and down about 100 times in between. So just be prepared. It's a nice rainy day out, but it's not like cold, dreary rainy. I mean, it's very dark out, but it's more of like it's warm. It's going to be 70 today. And drizzly, which just feels like fall. I just don't like the real cold, drizzly days. Kind of bummed though, because I planned on taking my Christmas, or not my Christmas, my Halloween lights that I just bought and hang them up outside. And I can't do that today. And tomorrow, while you guys are watching this tutorial, is actually Pumpkin Spice's birthday, and she wants to have a girl's day. So I gotta go buy her a winter coat and an ice cream cake, which is what she wants. I'm only buying her a small one because only a couple of us can actually eat ice cream cakes because they have gluten in them. Just single crocheting around. Now we got to the beginning of the row, and we are going to slip stitch to join. We are going to chain 1, 2, 3, chain 4, not 3, 4. We are going to skip the next stitch, and we are going to double crochet in the next one, and we're going to not chain. Nope, we don't chain. We're going to do just like we did with the cowl pattern. You're going to yarn over and you're going to do 4 double crochets together around the post. So it's like a bobble. So you're going to wrap it around, pull up a loop, pull off 2, yarn over, or wrap it around, pull up a loop, pull off 2, wrap it around the post, pull up a loop, pull off 2, and then one more time, and then you should have 5 loops on your hook. You yarn over, pull through all of them, chain 1, skip the next stitch, double crochet in the next one after that, and we're going to do that again all the way around. So 4 double crochets together around the post, 2, 3, and 4. Pull through all 5, chain 1, skip the next, go into the next one, and double crochet. Once again, 4 double crochets together around the post, 2, 3, and 4. Pull through all 5 loops, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet. 4 double crochets together around the post. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I should say that you are actually going to be crocheting this inside out, so this is the bobbles will form on the inside of the hat. So what we're going to do when we're done is flip the hat inside out, and it's going to be just fine. Chain 1, skip 1, make the bobble, or the double crochet, then make the 4 double crochets together around the post, 2, 3, and 4. Pull off all 5, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet. Do this all the way around until you get to the other side, and I will meet you there. Alright, we are just about to the end. And just like with the cowl, it's going to curve because it looks like there's way more stitches than there should be. When we put the next row in, it will pull it up into the position it's supposed to be. So I'm towards the end of the row. I actually have 2 stitches here. So I am going to, I probably should have one more stitch, but that's all right. We're just going to fudge our way through it. I am going to create our last bobble here. Well, actually, it's not our last bobble. I'm going to actually put a bobble around that one too. And we are going to do our 4 double crochets together around the post. Chain 1. I am going to slip stitch in the 3rd chain of this chain 4. Slip stitch. I'm going to put a bobble around this last post. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Instead of slip stitching, or instead of chaining 1 here, we're just going to join it in the last chain space of that chain 4 space and push our bobble through. Now we're going to chain 1, and now we are going to put single crochets in every bobble. So this is what the bobble side looks like. So every single bobble should have 2 single crochets in it. So we're going to put 1 here in this back part, and then we're going to put 1 in the corner. So put 1 at the top of the bobble and 1 in the corner. 1 in the top, and it doesn't matter where you put the chain ones or the slip single crochets, as long as each one of these bobbles has 2 single crochets in it, it will be just fine. So much like the cowl, the repeat for this will be bobble, single, half double, single. So the next row will be half doubles, the row after that will be singles, and then we'll do another row of bobbles. And then we're going to do that until the hat reaches about 8 inches from the brim to the top for an adult size hat. For a child size hat, I would do 6 inches. If you were making this even smaller, I would do like 5 inches. But just as long as each bobble has 2 single crochet, that's all that matters. And this is going to feel a little different than the cowl, because in the cowl we were working back and forth. In the hat pattern we are working it in a circle, and we're actually working on the opposite side of the bobble than we were of the cowl. So it might feel different to you, it might look different to you. It will be fine in the end. And all those bobbles will be pulled a little bit tighter together from the use of the single crochets. And the reason I do my hats at 8 inches is because I leave room for folding up the brim. I leave room for a ponytail in the back. Like I said, you can make this shorter if you wish. I'm going to go for anywhere between 6 inches from the brim to the top of the hat to 8 inches. I will give you the exact number as we move on, because I'm designing this as we're tutorializing it. So I haven't done this hat yet. We're doing it together for the first time. which is how I do most of my tutorials. So I will meet you at the end of this row because it's taking me longer than I oh no, the end of the row is right there. We can continue on. I was going to pause it and finish the row, but we don't have to do that. And again, I'm going to apologize for the TV being loud because it's Mr. Cinnamon needs to hear it louder. He always turns the TV up really loud. And he is just on the other side of the wall from me, so. I'm going to move my camera back towards me a little bit so my arms aren't so far extended away from my body. And I'm going off camera a little bit. And with all of my tutorials, I ask you to please, if you make any of these things from my tutorials, I want to see them. I would love to see pictures. If you're a podcaster, show me in your videos. Instagram, you can hashtag me or @ me, @Cinnamon Stitches. We are back at the beginning of the row, and that weird funky bobble that we started the row with. I'm going to have 2 single crochets. I'm going to slip stitch to join in the first single crochet, and we're going to chain 2. So this is what your hat should look like. This is going to be, like I said, we're working it inside out because of the bobbles. So, and see how it's not as far extended out as it was. Now we are going to do half double in the next stitch and a half double in every stitch around. And you don't really need to see how to do this part, so I'm going to let you guys do half doubles. And I will meet you at the end of the row. And then the next row will be singles. And we'll go from there. Alright, I made it around with the half doubles. I'm going to slip stitch in that first chain 2 space, chain 1, single crochet in that stitch, and all the stitches around. A single crochet. The next row is going to be a bobble row, and we're going to handle that exactly like we handled the last bobble row, except that last post, the starting post, we are not going to put a bobble around that one because now we're getting further up in the hat. We don't need that extra space. We can have that as just a post. Actually, yeah. We'll just leave it as a post. Now, I have a feeling this hat is going to not quite, I mean, you can make it a slouchy hat. It's not going to be a full-on slouchy hat, but it's going to be a loose hat around the head. It's not going to be real form-fitting and tight, just because those bobbles, and because we went up a hook size. That was totally the intent, is that the brim of the hat would be tighter than the body of the hat. I really am loving the way the orange brim looks. It just like really makes those other colors next to it just pop. You guys ever erase the tutorial list? When you're watching a tutorial, do you ever try to crochet faster than them and beat them to the next stitch? The next step? I totally do that. When I'm watching a tutorial, I'm like, alright, I try to crochet as fast as to keep up or faster than, so that I'm waiting for the next stitch, or the next step of the tutorial. I'm just wondering if I was the only one that did that. Oop. Kind of easy to catch up to me because I'm constantly sliding out of my stitches. Man, this hat is bright. Especially under this light. It's like, wow. We're almost back to the beginning of the round. Alright, we're back to the beginning of the row. Slip stitch to join. We're going to chain 1, 2, and 3, and 4. We're going to skip the next stitch, put a double crochet. I'm going to put a bobble. And since you guys already know how to make the bobble, I'm going to pause it here. Just continue just like you did the other bobble row. And I will meet you back at the end of this row. Alright, we're rounding this corner, almost to the end. And 4, chain 1. Let's see, now we have this the post of the front, and we're going to ignore that, and we're going to go all the way over to the bobble, and we're going to slip stitch in the bobble. We're going to chain 1, and we're going to put a single crochet where we slip stitch, and we're going to put one more single crochet in the top. We're going to do that around. Let's put 2 single crochets in every bobble. And then the next row will be half doubles and singles. And I will meet you at the end of the second single row. So do this row of single, do the row of half double, do this second row of singles, and I will meet you at the end of that. Alright, I made it my single row, my half double row, and my single row. I'm going to slip stitch to join. I'm going to pull out the good old tape measure again if I can see where I stuck it. What did I do with it? I got another one over here. Alright. So, from the brim to 2 full repeats. Right now we have about 6 inches. So I'm going to do, let me see, a full repeat is about 2 inches. So that would be perfect. I'm going to do another full repeat of the bobble, single, half double, single, and then I will meet you back, and we will have, at the end of that, we have 3 bobble rows, bobble sections to include the part after that, and then we will start our decrease. So continue on, do another bobble row, single row, half double row, single row, and then we'll come back and we will start our decrease. Alright, we are at the top of the hat. We have our 3 rows, a 3-row repeat. I am going to flip the hat right side out now, so that we'll be working back on the outside because we're not doing any more bobbles. It is time to do a decrease. So we are going to now just continue working in the round. I'm going to chain 1 and turn. And we're going to start decreases here. And we're going to do decreases in half double crochets. So we are going to start the row with just a half double crochet in that first stitch. And then we're going to do half double crochets over the next 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to do a 2 half doubles together. So yarn over, pull up a loop, go in the next one, pull up a loop, pull through all 4 loops. Now we're going to do 5 half double crochets over the next 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to do a decrease, just 2 half double crochets together, and then in the next 5 stitches we'll put a half double. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do a half double decrease. And then half doubles in the next 5 stitches. We're going to do this all the way around. 2, 3, 4, 5. Half double decrease. And 5 half doubles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, half double decrease, 5 half doubles, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're going to do a decrease. 5 more half doubles, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Half double decrease. Next 5. Half double decrease. I will let you know that Mr. Cinnamon came in here just before I started filming again, and he looked at my hat. He asked progress. How much longer? I was like, well, I'm working on the decrease part. He goes, I really like those colors. So we have Mr. Cinnamon's approval. 5 half doubles. 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you get to the end and you have an unusual amount, do my decrease here, it's alright if it doesn't quite add up. Just as long as about every 5 stitches you have that decrease, because we want to start coming in really, really fast now because the hat is more than big enough to fit our head. So this next row, we're going to do the same thing. Except every 3 half doubles now we are going to do a decrease. So we're going to do a half double in the first one, and in the next 2. Well, that's 3 half doubles. Then we're going to do a decrease, and then 3 half doubles. Whoop. 2 and 3. And then we're going to do a decrease. And you're going to do that all the way around. 1, 2, 3. Do a decrease. Oop. dropped my hook. Three half doubles. I really like this hat. I went in the bathroom and tried it on. I was like, oh, it's looking cute. I just like the bobbles. I like the color. I like the yarn. I had a lot of fun making this. Three half doubles. And a decrease. I can't wait to put this whole set together and put it on. I'm kind of excited. I'm like, yeah, we're almost to the finish line. A little gnat in here. I got it. No worries. Mr. Cinnamon keeps going and opening the front door. I think he's bored. Letting the little buggies in. As I was saying before my camera so rudely died, the battery died, it finally stopped raining outside. It's actually, I just wish the sun would come out. But the weather's warm, so that's all I care about. Still on the same row. Three half doubles, then a decrease. One, two, and three. But because we're at the end of the row, there's not room for another decrease. We're just going to put another half double and slip stitch to the previous row. And chain one, and as we can see, we're getting a really good decrease here now. So now we're going to do two half doubles and a decrease, two and a decrease, two half doubles and a decrease. These colors are so pretty. This section right here is like my favorite. It's so pretty. Two half doubles and a decrease all the way around. Making some progress now. And the next row, if you're ahead of me, because we're racing now, is just going to be one half double and a decrease. When you get around to that next row, because we're trying to bring this in as quickly as possible. Two and a decrease. So we're almost to the end. Two and then a decrease. Two half doubles and then a decrease. And even though that orange that we started with is not the same color, you can't tell that it doesn't belong. That's why I brought it in. I just thought it would be, nice. I think the only other color I really would have probably used would be the green or the yellow. One, two. And we have that extra stitch at the end, which is fine. Slip stitch to join. Chain one. Keep going in the round. It's coming in really fast now. All right, now we're going to do half double, decrease, double, decrease. It'd be really neat if the hat ended in orange, but it's not going to. It's going to end in green, I guarantee it. Half double, decrease, half double, decrease, half double, decrease, half double, decrease, round and round we go, because the beginning is where we end up. Half double, decrease, half double, decrease, half double, decrease. And of course, if you're making this a smaller hat for a smaller person, I would only do the 2 rows of bubbles. But because I have a big head, and because this is meant to fit over my ponytail, that's why we did the 3 full rows. And it's going to be slouchy style, but that's absolutely fine. Half double, and then a decrease. Half double, decrease. And somehow that stitch disappeared that we need, that extra stitch that we didn't need. Now we're going to decrease every stitch all the way around. So we're just going to do chain 1, and we're going to decrease, then decrease, then decrease, and decrease. Oh, we might be ending the hat in yellow. And decrease. And decrease. And decrease. And open my hat so it twists a little more. Where's the beginning of the row? I lost the beginning of the row. Oh, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. Calm down. Calm down. Everything's fine. I started to think I went too many around. Together. 2 together. Rotate. 2 together. 2 together. Actually, I think that's the beginning of the row. Hang on. Hang on, let me check. Yeah, that's the beginning of the row. Right there. So, I'm going to do this one and this one together. Pull tight. Slip stitch up here to join. The size hole we have is minimal. So now we are going to switch to single crochets. We're going to do 2 single crochets together to really bring the top of this hat in. So in order to do that, you just grab up 1 and grab up 2 and pull them together. The next 2 stitches, grab up 1, grab up 2, pull through stitches, grab up 1, grab up 2, pull through both, grab up 1, grab up 2, pull through both, grab up 1, grab up 2, pull through both, and then we're at the end of the row. Grab up 1, grab up 2, pull through both, slip stitch to join. This is the size hole that we have left. So what I'm going to do, take my glasses off And now my scissors are missing. Oh, they're right there. I'm going to cut a longish tail, so maybe a foot long, just so that I have room to work. And then I need a needle, handy dandy yarn needle. I'm going to tie that off. And then I'm going to put this on my yarn needle. And what we're going to do is we're going to cinch this off a little bit. And to do that, we're just going to weave in and out around the posts of the last row of the single crochets. So go down and up and down and up and pull through. And then go around again and go down and up. Pull through, down one more time, and I'm going to pull up through the center right here and just pull it tight. Pull it tight. Alright, and then you have the top of your hat is all cinched off. And what I do is I usually go around the stitches and I just weave it in and out a little bit. Go in and out. Doesn't matter what stitches you use, just go in and out and around. It just holds the decreases in a little more. And then go back down through the middle, go into the inside of the hat. And then I grab any old loop like this. Wrap it twice, pull through, gives you a little knot to secure it. And then I weave in the ends wherever I want to weave them in. If you want this to be a little less gapey, you can come in and just go through some of these stitches if you want. This is really just to make sure that we have a long enough tail if this ever comes untied. Close up some of those gaps if you want. Not that it really much matters. I just do this as an extra precaution, so in case it ever decides to come loose, which I've never had a hat come loose, I have an extra long tail just weaved in and out of there. And then I'm going to do one more knot. I leave a loop, wrap it twice, pull through. Oh, now you're going to stick on me, huh? There we go. Then there we have our hat. We are done with this tutorial. Yay, we did it! Noisimo, we did it! Isn't that cute? It's so cute. Thank you so much for sticking with me through this tutorial for 2 tutorials in a row. We did it! Yay! And I did say, if you guys are going to make this, I want to see. This is what our back seam looked like. It's not real obvious. The colors make it a little obvious, but there's not like a significant jag there. So, right. I want to see what you guys have created. I want to see your hats and your cowls and your sets together. And I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.